Hey, gang. Thursday, September 19th. Only about 10 more days till I get more money. And big announcement. We might be getting some sooner than that. That's coming up next or coming up later. I got to get something out here. 1 second. Almost had everything ready. Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. That's right. Started one. There we go. All right. 99.1 WDJY and AmericaOneRadio.com, Atlanta. Got some other call letters we're going to be saying. That's the big announcement. We'll talk about that. Stay tuned. Hang in there. 1490 WWPR, Bradenton, the UG.media, serving London, England, and Rainbow Radio, Yerg's Radio, and the rest of the Mastiff Media Network. Good morning. It's Yerg's. I've got to, I've got notes, and I didn't put it on the actual notes because it's all over social media. We're ready. Hang out to the end. We're going to be talking about Mark Cuban, and he is today's morning motivation. Finally, what's this today? Thursday. This is day 4 of trying to talk about the poo-poo sandwich that J.D. Vance is, and the hypocrite, and the puppet, and what a great candidate he was until Joe Biden was no longer in the picture. Now, not so much. So hang out for that. We'll be talking about that most of the day. But first, Pierre's Pot. Today's Pierre's Pot is everybody at the podcast creators and makers. There it is, PCM, my Thursday morning meetup group, 8 a.m. Eastern. Kudos to the ones who have made it. David Beckmeyer being one of them. You can also hear him on Yerg's Radio, who make it from the West Coast. 5 a.m. every week. And that's why he's got the progress he does. Thomas Wu, who organizes it every week. Kathy, everybody that's there and gives input. Maggie, Colette, and I'm brain farting on others. I'm bad with names in the first place. But this is a group that I highly recommend. They're tagged on my social media today because they are the recipients of Pierre's pot. And I was telling him about this, and Thomas heard this earlier this week when he checked in. But this has just been a great group that's been helping me over the past, I'll say, 9 months that I've been attending these meetings every Thursday morning, or at least most every, literally a handful of meetings that I've missed. So I'm there for the good percentage of them. If you want to hear more about it right now, give us a call at 1-888-88-YERGZ, 1-888-88-YERGZ. That's usually putting that up on the, there we go. It's usually up on the screen. But so to everybody in the PCM meetup group, podcasters, creators, and makers, here it is, a toast of today's morning sauce from the Old Dominick Tumbler, Old Dominick Distillery in Memphis, Tennessee. That's got today's morning sauce in it, and a toast of that morning sauce in your direction to everybody at PCM. It's been always a pleasure every week. Okay, gang, we've got to take a break. And let's see. Yeah. Oh, I forgot that. Yeah. So that PCM, or actually the Pierre's pot, I'm doing things now, and I got to learn to scroll down. I'm doing things now that are better organizing everything, which is why we're going to have a short break in a second. But I've actually got a write-up on here that I should have read, which better explains Pierre's pot on my show notes. In honor of Pierre Robert of 93.3 WMMR Philadelphia, a radio DJ hero of mine who has been there since 1981. We toast the morning sauce today in the direction of our good citizen, as he would call them, aka an honored listener. And of course, that was everybody at the PCM meetup group every Thursday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern. Again, link to that group for Facebook. It's easier to get a hold of them through the Facebook group, even though you need to register for the meetings on Meetup, because that's where the Zoom link will be found. But check out that link. It'll be in the show notes, available at yergs.com. 99.1 WDJY and everybody here at the Mastiff Media Network. We'll be back after this. Do you have a podcast? Of course you do. It's probably one of the reasons why you listen to us. Well, I got something for you. Flowsend.ai. All you do is take your pre-recorded data, click, drag, and drop right into the inbox for Flowsend AI. Click a button, and out comes everything that you're going to need. From the transcript to content, such as keywords, titles for your episode, the timeline, posts for LinkedIn, posts for Twitter, Instagram, other smaller platforms, all the things that it takes you hours to do in literally minutes. So go to flowsend.ai. Tell them Yerg sent you and get your subscription today. Worth every penny. Flowsend.ai. Hold on. There we are. 1-888-88-YERGZ. This is the first thing up today. Apparently, nope. Hang in there. Hold on. I'm using these show notes better, and it saved me from losing a sponsor, which is kind of cool. That's kind of important. Are you tired of not working out or going to some gym and, oh, my hair's a mess? Can't be like that. Well, you can be like that at this gym that I'm about to tell you about. Diggs, by the way, won. Is that what that the BTW? What's up? What's up, man? Thanks for joining. Or I'm seeing like looks like a I can't tell with your logo, but it looks like a either a New England Patriots or a Dallas Cowboy. I can see the color, but that's it. If you're tired of the routine, one of my trainers when I was in the San Francisco office said, your workout routine should never become just that. And it won't. If you're in the Tampa area and you train at Momentum Wellness and Fitness Center, no, I got that backwards. Momentum Fitness and Wellness Center on 19 in Bayonet Point, Pasco County. That's one of the places I go. It's now the only place I go. And I'm back at it. Thank God. I've missed the gym. My body looks like I've missed the gym. I'm already feeling better. Go in and talk to Anthony. That's the owner. Yeah, it's a gay thing, all the gays know the owner. Well, I actually do. Tell him Jörg sent you. He will hook you up with an amazing membership. They've got new equipment, updated equipment, new space, outdoor space, cold plunge tanks, saunas, all kinds of expansion going on. Momentum Fitness and Wellness Center. Keep or get that Hernando or Clearwater beach body. Definitely Momentum Fitness and Wellness. All right. That's where I got to go this afternoon. And if you're watching on video and you see the headphones messed up my hair a little bit, that's fine. They don't care there. You can even train shirtless guys. I mean, they'd probably be cool with the women doing it too, but I don't know what the county would say about that. So JD, oh, you know what? I don't think I'm on. There's one thing I hate about broadcasting this to Instagram. Once you go live on, in this case, Restream, you've actually got to manually go back and do it. After you've spent time to plug everything in, stream keys, URLs, all this stupid crap. And just, anyway. So we're on an Instagram. We're on Rumble. At least we should be. It doesn't look like we are. I don't know. Why can't they just all have like the same user experience? Why does everybody think they're better than everybody else? JD. And I can never find like where my show is. Rumble is so much of a pain in the ass to get through. All right, we're live there. Good. I got to go back and I got to check on these things because I tell people, hey, here's where we're going to be. Watch, listen, whatever. Jörg's Radio, 99.1, DJY, and let's. I want to talk about that so bad, but yeah, stay on schedule, stay on the thing. So JD Vance has apparently been even more anti-migrant, anti-immigrant, and has admitted that all this Springfield crap is, well, just that. It's crap. It's fake. Just like Trump's makeup. Just like Vance's smile. It's fake. This was a made-up story, made up by some lady who cracked a joke. It was a joke when she put this on whatever platform of social media, that these migrants are eating her dogs and cats. And I've looked into it. I've talked to some people, and how this all started with Haitians being in Springfield, Ohio in the first place. Like my hometown of Boyertown, where we have orchards, apparently Springfield has certain industries that we lazy ass white people who have desk jobs like this don't want to do. So who does it? People who are looking for a better life. People who are willing to work a little bit for not so much money. And they wind up saving money anyway to send back home to another country to their family. And so that's who's been in Springfield, Ohio. Brought there by, are you ready for this? The local and state government, for the sole purpose of doing these jobs that we're too lazy to do. And it's something to be thankful for, that folks like this exist who are willing to do these jobs that we don't want to do. So I can sit here in front of a $500 microphone and talk to you. You get to sit there and listen. That can't be bad. You're going to learn something today. Besides the fact that I apparently can't sit still in this chair if you're watching. And J.D. Vance has admitted that he's just going to make stuff up if that's what it takes to get the attention of the media. Well, the issue that you're trying to gain attention for is a non-issue. So what are you doing? What is your purpose in life? Do you understand this? You're making a bigger ass out of yourself every day. And when you were picked to be T-Rump's running mate, everybody thought, oh, well, not a bad choice, because clearly, JD, you are a yes man. Yeah, I've always criticized myself for never really having an original thought in my life. Wow. I am a creator compared to you. Because you're just like everybody else on that primary stage. I couldn't think of primary a couple times earlier today. I have no idea why. But you're just like everybody else on the primary stage. You're fighting against everybody else up there, cutting them up, insulting, doing whatever. And then it's time to better yourself. Oh, Trump's not that much like Hitler. I was just kidding. Okay, that's a good thing to kid about if you're going to be the next vice president of the United States. But you were a great choice at that time, because he was, as he is for the rest of his administration and always has, is looking for a yes man who's going to do what you're told. And I mean, after all, he still thinks he's going up against Joe Biden. At the time, he actually was. And wasn't too worried about diversifying the Republican ticket with Nikki Haley, Vivek Ramaswamy. Granted, they're not the best choices either. But like we used to say at the Secret Service, we all bring different things to the table. So Trump brings his twin, his mini-me. And then Joe Biden says, gotcha. Surprise. You might want to diversify your ticket a little more, because we just did. Peace out, bitches. What do you mean, Pete? Well, as we all know, Biden's no longer the guy. And T-Rump stuck with you. As you sit there making asinine comments about immigrants, And you're married to one. Really, dude? So I ask again, later you'll hear the commercial where I ask you to reach out, tell me why you're thinking what you're thinking. What is the appeal for these two asshats? What? No, seriously, what? Because I don't get it. And everything these people say, they wrap themselves up in the Bible. Meanwhile, nothing they say, nor any way in which they behave, is anything like a Christian. Like, at all. But that's where they fancy themselves at. And what's fascinating, now I'm really messing her up even more. What's fascinating is there's a following. There still is a following. So I got to adjust the mic a little bit. There still is a following. Why? For what? About a year ago, I said that the Trump train is losing cars and as such is losing passengers. And it was my estimation that the ones who were left were the ones who flat out aren't that bright to figure out it's a bad ticket, Trump Vance. And I was having this conversation with David Beckmeyer from Outrage Overload and with Jane Stahl, my co-host on Both Sides Now. And he said, no, the people who aren't too bright are still there. But a majority of these people, because at least the ones who aren't too bright, will have by now possibly actually felt disenfranchised by the Trump administration. Look, okay. He said the ones that are really going to be the challenge to reach out to, and the ones that are really going to be difficult to see, to show they've been hoodwinked, are the intellectuals that have been following. And my word, is he right? We've had a guest, and we're about to have another one, actually, on Up the Middle. Harvard educated, black Trump supporter. And Howard Stern said it best. He doesn't like you. He doesn't like you. Black, female, migrant, millionaire or less financially. There's nothing you can do for him. He doesn't like you. And I was just like, wow. That's what made me think about my own two brothers. You've heard of the Ivy Leagues, Harvard, like J.D. Vance, Yale, etc. They both went to schools very similar to that in another setup called the Patriot League, like Colgate, Wilkes and King's College, Lehigh. And they're not dumb. They've got good jobs. My baby brother's a vice president at a construction company. My younger brother, the middle one, has his own construction company, general contractor, nothing too huge, but does great work. And I have no problem saying that, even though politically they're both knuckleheads. And I was telling the folks on the call at 8 o'clock this morning that I've said this many times, and say it again. You no longer have to be able to spell Google to be able to use it. And that's I've said that for more than a year now. What am I saying? Back in my day, you actually had to type in google.com to do a search. And even then, as a functional search engine, it's not really what it is today. But it was still the best we had and was a great tool. So if you couldn't spell Google to type it into the web browser URL address bar, you couldn't Google search anything. Now you just type your search, you ask a question, you type in keywords, whatever you want to do. A name, JD Vance, and hit enter. And that space on your web browser, on your computer screen, is automatically connected to a search engine. Most likely Google. Not necessarily. It might be Bing. It might be, whatever, depending on your operating system and what web browser you're using. I've got like 3. Primarily Chrome, which is Google. And I search things multiple, probably pushing 100 times a day, different searches, whether it's for life. Hey, this is interesting. What about it? Blah, blah, blah. Type it in and off we go. Prep for the show, prep for today's show. We're already prepping. I'm talking with Matt. Shout out to Matt and Blake for tomorrow's show. Our first one in a certain setup that we'll talk about after the break. But you can do your homework and look into these people. And I don't mean go to their website. I mean, that would actually screw them too, because you know how Donald Trump says he has nothing to do with Project 2025. Okay. Let's pretend that's true. Let's just go to his own website and look at Agenda 47. 47 being the number of president he would be again, should he be reelected. This is his platform. It is Project 2025 written in Crayola crayon. It's the same thing, watered down, much less detail, because he doesn't have the capacity nor the attention span to put that detail in. The Heritage Foundation and Company does have those skills. So yeah, let him say that he has nothing to do with Project 2025, even though out of 900 and whatever it is, 22 pages, 922 pages, 900 and some pages, he's listed more than 300 times. That's 1 every 3 pages. Page 1, page 4, page 7. You get the idea. So, JD Vance is, I just get a headache. I can't wait. I was right, as usual, but I was right. after the debate when she spanked Trump. We should have just voted then. Nothing's going to get any better for the Trump campaign. J.D. Vance will likely have a better performance against Walz than T-Rump had against Harris, but I don't think he's going to win it either, because there's a raw skill in J.D. Vance versus a similar raw skill and charisma in actually believing in the positivity that he shares in Tim Walz. I think that's just going to resonate. I think people are just like, I'm sitting here going, God, it's only September 19th. We got, 6 weeks? 6 more weeks of political winter. So between him and then also, and now I'm brain farting, the governor of Arkansas, telling about how her kids humble her and that Kamala Harris has no way to be humbled by children because she doesn't have any, as if that makes her a lesser person. I'm thinking it's Sarah. I'm ad-libbing this part. That's why I don't have any notes on it. But and I'm trying to think. I was listening to part of it on that show that I was on Tuesday. I listened to him, Brian Shapiro, on Pushing the Limits, Las Vegas station, KSHP. I'm getting it. It's coming to me. There it is. Sarah Huckabee Sanders is what he's been calling her, the governor of Arkansas. Sarah Huckabee Sanders. I was trying to think of her dad, Huckabee, and I couldn't think of his name. I protected her when she was in the Trump administration. She was nice to me. It doesn't make her a good governor or a good leader. But yeah, Sarah Huckabee Sanders actually said that the other day about Kamala Harris, that she has no means to be kept humble because she doesn't have her own kids. What if she couldn't have kids? How much of a bitch would you sound like then, Huckabee? But yeah, it's so blatantly different right now, the one side of the political spectrum versus the other. It's literally love versus hate. And what's fascinating to me is that the hateful side, which I've a couple of weeks ago at least, maybe even longer, began refraining from calling them Republicans. What is left on the political right in this country are not Republicans. Republicans have either gone into hiding, like the last of the Jedi Knights, or they've sold out, like Lindsey Graham and Beaker, the guy who stands there and stares at you, and Johnson, who's nothing more than a Johnson. So I don't call them Republicans. I call them MAGA. That's what they are. That's who they are. And although they think they're Christians and whatever else, they're proud to be called that. They have to put in by themselves. They have to put patriot into their social media profiles because nobody else calls them that. And they can't figure out why. So that's JD in the nutshell. Hypocrite, ass kisser. You remember when Trump said he was coming to Washington to drain the swamp? There he is with the swamp thing as his partner doing it. How much draining do you think is going to happen? All right, 99.1 WDJY and America1Radio.com in Atlanta. 1340, 106.1 WTAN, and 1350 and 102.3 WDCF, Clearwater and Dade City. Those are our 4 new stations that join us tomorrow. 1490 WWPR, Bradenton, Tampa Bay, and the Nature Coast. Those all 5 stations here in the Tampa area, now exposing us to over 5 million potential listeners. Don't think we're going to get all of them, to be clear. But they were telling me yesterday that when we start with those 4 tomorrow, we can expect to see about 30,000 right out the bat. So that good, competing with the 26 that we got up in Atlanta just from 99.1. I don't know what our analytics are from America One Radio yet. But then also the UG.media, the UG like underground.media, serving London, England. And of course, it's an internet station, so also the rest of the world. Rainbow Radio, Yerg's Radio, and everybody else here in the doghouse at Mastiff.media, the Mastiff Media Network. It's Yerg's. You're going up the middle with me at 11:35 Eastern. So it would be translate to 8:35 Pacific and 4:35 p.m. out there in London. We'll be back after this. There it is. Smell nasty. Do you want to freshen it up a little bit? Go to aromabypeter.com. Check out all of Peter's candles. It's what we burn here in Studio Yerg's. I'm burning right now leather scented candle. That's right, leather scented. So go to aromabypeter.com/Yerg's and check out his candles today.
I'm Jane Stahl, retired English teacher, and with my BFF, Susan Bebeck, we manage Studio B Fine Art Gallery in Boyertown, Pennsylvania. We showcase the art of hundreds of local artists, publish books of the poetry, prose, and art of local writers, offer classes, art parties, workshops, discussion groups, cater dinners. We've even hosted a wedding. And we're here to be the go-to place for friendship, learning, and fun in our community. Virtual tours of our exhibits are available right here on Yerg's Radio. Let us introduce you to some amazing art and artists.
Check out Jane Stahl and everyone at Studio B in Boyertown, Pennsylvania. Please visit our YouTube channel, Talk TV 24. How's your website doing? I'll tell you how mine's doing. It's awesome. Yergs.com is got to be the best website for anybody in podcasting or any sort of broadcast solo journalist like me. How did I get that? Limit Break Digital. Limit Break Digital did my website with Yergs.com. They did YergerGroup.com. They take care of my marketing, my branding, and help me get the message out to you. Go to limitbreakdigital.com/Yergs for 10% off your next project. That's a $3,000 site, Yergs.com. And you can get 10% off that by just going to limitbreakdigital.com/Yergs today. Talk to Jay. That's my guy. We all got a guy, and Jay's mine. limitbreakdigital.com. Hey gang, it's Yergs. Right now, our country is about to embark on yet another controversial presidential election. I have an actual question, legitimate question, as a political scientist and historian by education. If you are a Trump supporter, I want to hear from you. I want to know what your appeal to Donald Trump is at this time. Please email me Newz, N-E-W-Z, at Yergs.com. Newz, N-E-W-Z, at YERGZ.com. Thanks. Participants must be willing to provide their contact information, answer a series of questions, and then have their first name broadcast over the radio and social media relevant to Up the Middle. All right. So there it is. That's the commercial I was telling you about. I was just looking up one of the other stations that we're trying to add and hopefully can get some sort of a decent following by the time of the... Sorry to check something. By the time of the election. Because, yeah, I'm kind of thinking Florida isn't a swing state. Kind of, sort of is. I mean, it could be. And maybe someday, probably not. Probably not this time around yet. But I think it's going to be in the future. And I just been thinking about this whole process of growing Up the Middle and what is now Mastiff Media and Yerg's Radio, Rainbow Radio, the sports station that's not even up yet, and developing that into what's going to be productive. What we want to do is, in conjunction with the news that we're going to do in a minute, we want to bring back local news reporting. And what the sports station will do is bring back local sports coverage by you. You're podcasting, aren't you? You got social media, don't you? Everybody's got a YouTube channel now. Why can't you do play-by-play at your son's baseball game or your daughter's lacrosse game or whatever? So you rent the airtime from us. You sell your own advertising. And if your school booster association, you like the alumni for the high school or whatever it's called in your school district, or if you're a small college, same thing. Spirit group or glee club, whatever. If you're putting together a program, and you're selling ad spots in that program, wouldn't they rather buy it where it's going to be heard, where people are actually going to be exposed to it instead of in pages and pages and pages with all the other sponsors as the guy or gal on the PA system begs people to look through it? So selling ad spots are going to be easy for you. To do that, to pay for your whole season of broadcasting your favorite team. So that's coming. But what does Mark Cuban have to do with that? Today's morning motivation. He says, always wake up with a smile, knowing that today you're going to have fun accomplishing what others are too afraid to do. Do you have any idea that tens of thousands of dollars I've spent on the Yerger Group, on what is now Mastiff Media, on Yerg's Radio, on Up the Middle, Doggy Traders, all of it? I've had fun developing this while living on my pension that I earned. So when this does become, I'm thinking as soon as like the next week, when this does become cash positive, it's going to go right back into further developing everything that we're doing here. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Sorry. I did want to do that, but not there. And people are too afraid to do this because it has to be cash positive right away. I've got somebody I've been kind of helping out who's actually doing decent work. I mean, I haven't seen it yet, but he's staying on top of me to provide the information that he needs. God love him. And that's getting us an entry on Wikipedia. Yeah. And getting Mastiff.media up to date so that at least has the social media platforms that you can get the show on. Because the way we say Mastiff Media, we spell it Mastiff.media. That's the URL. And we'll probably, for a little while, have to put www. In front of it until people learn that's the URL. Like if we say yergsradio.com, that's a website. If I say mastiff.media, a lot of people don't know that .media, like the UG.media. Shout out to them, by the way, because that's where I got the idea when I already had the name Mastiff Media. Make the entire URL the name, mastiff.media. And I am having a huge amount of fun doing all this. Not so I can sit here with a microphone in front of my face and a camera on my furniture desktop. I always got to try to remember to turn the mic like this so you can get in the camera shot. But because when we put together local news, which we'll do next and wrap up with, when we put together, excuse me, sorry, I still have this cough from like a month ago. When we put together local news, that's for you. That's what I'm here for. That's what any content creator should be broadcasting for. I mean, this ain't a pain in the ass, to be honest. Or, I probably wouldn't be doing it for 4 years without being cash positive and having other shows that didn't succeed. That I pulled the plug on because I saw it. So, yeah, I failed. And I had fun doing it. So many others I've seen have stopped because they didn't want to fail again. I don't even care if this fails. I will figure it out. That's why we're doing morning motivation. That's why we're now, as of this week, doing local news for some of the markets. Obviously, I can't do it for 80 some countries. But I'm having fun. I'm back to getting up early in the morning like I did when I first moved here. Because I want to get up and do things. That staying in bed till damn near or sometimes past lunchtime, because I don't want to get up, is gone. I've conquered that depression, anxiety, PTSD. I mean, I'm always going to be conquering it. But before I came on the air, I was out back pulling weeds. I said, okay, let's go. I want to come back and do this, but I got to go in and do that. And I want to go in and do that. I woke up with that smile on my face because I have accomplished things already today. And it's 11:48 East Coast. And yeah, I'm having fun doing it. because others are too afraid to. That doesn't mean you can't change that too. Stay tuned with us. There's going to be more motivational like that. We're going to take one more quick break, and we're going to come back and tell you about what's happening in your hood. Be right back.
Talking about retribution.
Retribution and going after people is disrespect of our military.
The military people that he's disgraced.
91.
Criminal felonies.
4 different indictments.
He mishandled classified documents.
Taking documents.
Now his desire to do away with NATO.
Donald Trump talks about abandoning Ukraine.
He said he'll be a dictator on day one.
If he's going to be a dictator on day one, he's going to be a dictator, period.
That kind of stuff scares me.
Absolutely scares me.
The second Trump term would be worse than the first.
A second term for Trump would be far more extreme.
It is dangerous, outright dangerous.
I cannot support Donald Trump again.
I'd never vote for him again.
You'll never get my vote, ever, ever.
Oh, we back? There we are. So, I want to do another live, but I don't really have anything yet. Actually, you know what? I might be doing it tomorrow if I hear back from these guys, so I'm going to call them. I got an email. Many of you know that I came here to the Tampa Bay area in search of buying a hotel. Talk about, doing things that, other people are too afraid to do. Learn an entire new industry. I wasn't in hospitality when I was in the Secret Service. I was exposed to it. Our protectees stayed at hotels. We stayed at hotels. Often saw the back end of what happens in hospitality. But I wanted to get into hospitality to include hotels and the restaurant business. So that's really 2 industries I'm learning. We had a location down in Gulfport, Florida, just kind of southwest of St. Pete. And it didn't work out. We had to withdraw our offer. We had an offer on the table. It was accepted. We were moving forward. And we learned some things, is all I'll say, because it's over. It's done. It's not worth trashing somebody who's not in the industry anymore. And I had to withdraw the offer, get my down payment back, whole 9 yards. That down payment now sits out back in the form of 2 jet skis. I haven't totally moved on from hospitality, but it's not a priority right now, obviously. Well, the property that we had in contract has been sold. And just yesterday, I got an email from the new owners called, I got to pull this up so I get it right. Now you know I was pulling up my email. Oh, Dar Palmer checking back in. That's going to be our new film company. Lawrence Tatum, Thomas Wu. Good. I got to pay Facebook for something. I don't think it was in this one though. Wonder if it was here. I think it was actually. Here we go. Look at this. Trust sender. Peninsula Bed and Bar? Bed and Cocktails. The Peninsula Bed and Cocktails. I've stayed at this place when it was the other brand. And let's see if we can. Is there. Hello? Is there a. Well, book now. Learn more. Let's try that. Here we go. This was a beautiful building. It was an old building, kind of historic building. Let me see if I can do better sharing here. Chrome tab, Peninsula, share. How do we look? There we go. And this is the place I almost bought. It was called the Peninsula Inn in Gulfport. Now, the Peninsula Bed and Cocktails, they've hit me up. They're offering 30% off for September and October if you book 2 or more nights. So book 3 nights, you get a night free. Book 6 nights, you get 2 nights free. 30% off right now if you use the promo code. Let me check the email. 30. That's what I thought it was. Okay. Promo code 30. We're going to see if they would change one or add one. Promo code Yergs. So now they know that, because I'm going to give them a free commercial like this tomorrow. I'm going to have it better planned, but just to see if they book a meeting with me so I can pitch them further additional advertising. I'll do a commercial for them tomorrow and see how it goes. But I've stayed at this place. It's a nice place. And apparently each of the 16 rooms, which is 4 more than what it used to have, by the way. So I don't know, but it's 4 more than what they used to have. I don't know if they cut out some of the restaurant. There was an owner suite on the 1 floor in the back part of the building. Perhaps that's ruined. But full bath, blackout curtains, smart TV, individual climate control, stocked mini bar and cocktail bar, mini fridge, hair dryer, Beekman 1802 bath amenities. 2 dog-friendly rooms are available. Click here to see them. Oh, that's the one I want. Wow. Oh, wow. Oh, look at this. This is the espresso martini suite. Oh, they've gutted this place. 100% they've gutted this place. They put some money into this. I'm so happy for them. I'm so happy to see that the Greyhound suite. I remember this room. This was 2 rooms. This was 2 rooms. So that's the other dog-friendly one. I don't know why those are dog-friendly and the others aren't. Let's see what we can find. Each of the rooms is made out. Wow. That's the old-fashioned suite. Old-fashioned is one of my favorite drinks. Look at that shower. Can you imagine the fun we'd have in that shower? Paloma. Margarita Deluxe. Mimosa. Very much champagne colors and orange. Manhattan, another favorite drink. And there it is, Manhattan. Bee's Knees. Cosmo. Spritz. Wow. Daiquiri. Look at that pink. Negroni. The Mule. Mai Tai. Mojito. There's the greens. Pina Colada. Espresso Martini. Oh. And that's what we just saw, those 2. That's right. Oh, well, good for them. So here's the news we're going to get. We're going to, first of all, the big announcement. We have signed, as you've already heard by the call letters I did, 4 more stations from the Tan Talk Network. I think I have this up too. There we go. Share this instead. There it is. Tan Talk Network. Rebroadcasting on the following, WTAN, WDCF. We're on with the Tampa Bay Rays in the evening, the Gators, and we're on same time, 11 a.m. on Fridays. 11 a.m. Fridays and Once we grow, we'll expand throughout the week. Also in Atlanta, VP Harris coming back tomorrow to talk about women's reproductive rights. Let's see, let's change that so there we go. Focusing on women's reproductive rights. Atlanta, she's going to be, it reports about, 2 Georgia women dying from lack of abortion care to access. It doesn't say that's a video, so the link will be where it'll be. 99.1 WDJY, America One Radio. You can get us at Newz, NEWZ, at yergz.com. There we go. Blake and Matt will be joining us tomorrow. Thanks for joining us today. You've been Up the Middle. See you, everybody.